our perspective.
Get some claps in here. Come on. Go to the song. Everything is, everything is, everything is. Everything is, everything is, everything is. Ba 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 ba. Oh yeah. Everything is, everything is, everything is.
I'm one of your hosts, Liyanne
and I'm Sancha Currie, aka Coco7, and this is our finale week, and we are so proud to be wrapping up the news with two more incredible guests. But before we do that, we're going to head over to the news and DJ, can you drop that beat?
DJ, drop that beat.
QG, drop that beat.
While they mingled and soaked in the atmosphere, Naomi mentioned new music with Miley Cyrus.
And Anna Wintour steps down from Vogue after 37 years. Anna Wintour officially stepped down as editor-in-chief of American Vogue on June the 25th, 2025, ending a 37-year reign since 1988.
And a stranded Brazilian dancer passes away before rescue. Brazilian dancer Juliana Marins tragically died after slipping near the edge of Mount Ujani's crater and falling around 1,000 feet. Rescue teams arrived close to the
And real-life Barbie, mother of four, buried in a glass coffin. Devika Kibi Steed, a 39-year-old mum of four, diagnosed with terminal breast cancer in late 2024, arranged a Barbie-themed funeral.
And the Netflix series Apple Cider Vinegar, inspired by Mel Gibson. The limited series is inspired by Mel Gibson, an Australian influencer who falsely claimed to have cured brain cancer and sold wellness products.
A 12-year-old girl abducted from Asda in Kent. A horrifying case involving a 12-year-old girl snatched from the Asda in Kent by three Slovakian men was reported by a man online and subsequently on X. During the 72-hour ordeal, she reportedly said she wanted to die.
And home cervical smear test kits are now available. In England, under the new NHS 10-year health plan launched June 24th, the home HPV-based cervical screening kits now will be offered to women who are overdue or at high risk.
And Lauren James on England's Euro 2025 ambitions. A profile in The Guardian features England forward Lauren James, 23, discussing her rise from playing in local parts to starring on the national team. She addresses overcoming racism, injury, setbacks and stepping into a leadership role ahead of the Euros.
Wow. And The Guardian revisits the 1985 Thin Black Line exhibition by curator Liyanne spotlighting Black and Asian women artists whose voices were marginalised.
And Emma Hayes joins The Guardian for Women's Euros coverage. Emma Hayes, decorated former Chelsea coach and current US national team coach, has launched a new role as a Guardian columnist. Oh, got one more.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Nearly there. And a brain-dead pregnant woman's family issued tragic update after baby cut out of the lifeless body. The case of Adriana Smith has sparked controversy around the world after the pregnant black woman was kept on life support machines for months after her death in order for her unborn baby to survive. Oh, that's so sad to hear, isn't it?
That's the news.
Yeah.
This week's news is all over the place, isn't
I know,
it?
there's a lot happening, isn't there?
Bits, there's fashion, there's lifestyle, there's sports.
Yeah, lots going on in the world, isn't there? Anything that sticks out for you, Sanch?
The episode of Vinegar Netflix series, I just think that's really quite interesting and I'm definitely going to be tuning in. I don't understand how somebody can actually build their whole portfolio off of a lie. Like there's women that are truly, or just people in general that are truly battling cancer. And she's managed to get brand endorsements. There's people really doing stuff to help others with this diagnosis, and she was going around cavorting, that
real con artist. Real con artist.
She cured herself, and the fact that they've made a Netflix series out of it, she's still game, hasn't she? Because now her name's going to go down in history.
Absolutely. So she got the game that she wanted.
Absolutely.
Well, because we are having running a bit with technical issues today. Let's catch up because we have some incredible guests today. And I'm going to introduce our first guest. And just to let you know, just to warn you, there may be some sensitive topics in this discussion. So we just wanted to give you a quick warning about that. But what if every heartbreak and every loss and every voice that told you you can't became the very fire that forged your future? Our next guest is actually a personal friend of mine who I met many years ago whilst working on a production, and we formed a friendship. She recently shared her story with me, and her resilience, strength and determination made me ask her and really encourage her to come and talk with us here at F The News. She is living proof that your past does not define your future. From growing up on a tough council estate to becoming pregnant at just 15 while studying for her GCSEs, from surviving foster care, homelessness, domestic violence and unthinkable personal loss, including 2 stillbirths and 5 miscarriages. She is rising up again and again, successfully holding the position even previously as director at Savills, to building her very own 6-figure award-winning property consultant business and a 7-figure property portfolio. She's a survivor, a builder and a warrior. And above all, she's a voice of hope for so many women who are fighting their way forward. Please join me in welcoming the incredible, unstoppable Asha Argwall. Welcome!
Thank you.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this incredible woman. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Get comfortable. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
There was a lot in reading that about you, Asha, honestly.
I know.
Resilience really jumps out.
Absolutely.
Resilient.
So I want, your story is nothing but remarkable. And I want us to start from the beginning. Yeah. I want us to
to go back, tell us what life was like for you growing up and being on the estate. What was that really like?
Do you know when you grow up on a council estate or grow up, that's life. You don't know any different. So to me, that was life, going out, hanging out with friends. I mean, look at kids now, they don't really go out and hang out with friends. You don't let them out. So that was life. Life was okay. Violence was a normal thing in a council estate. Seeing police every day was normal. The generation of kids don't get to see all of that now. It's not really as normal. So for me, that's the life that I knew. That was all that I knew. So I think growing up on a rough council estate, you build resilience anyway because you have to survive. You have to avoid violence. You have to avoid getting mugged or attacked or anything. So that was kind of normal, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was just what you knew and you just dealt with it. Now you found yourself pregnant at 15. Yeah. Like, what was going through your mind at that time? How was that for you at that time?
I mean, I've got a 15-year-old daughter now, and I look at her now, there's no way she would even know what to do. She would come crying to me. But at that age, I didn't have any like inspirational role models or anyone. Like I grew up obviously in a rough council estate, didn't grow up with much money. I grew up in a household where English was a second kind of language, so I didn't have parents that could help me with like my homework, my education. So when I was pregnant, I didn't turn to my mum because I thought, oh my God, being an Asian woman as well, I felt like it was a sin. Like, oh my God, what have I done? But also, growing up, I didn't grow up in a Western household, so it was obviously difficult. So I was pregnant, doing my GCSEs, in school, I would go to my hospital appointments on my own.
Wow.
So I didn't have any older siblings, older cousins, so I was very like kind of isolated on my own at a young age. So I just continued going to my hospital appointments, going to my scans on my own, not really knowing what I'm doing, not really understanding, right, I'm pregnant. And it was at that stage where obviously at my 6-month scan, the 5-month scan, the social services been referred, but it had to be done in a hospital because it was obviously, I didn't want my parents to know. So it was, when I look back now, it's kind of like,
How did I get through that?
you're 15 years old, my daughter's 15, she wouldn't even know how to get to a hospital appointment on her own.
Of course, it shows you, doesn't
But the generation,
it?
it's a different generation.
And
so,
culturally, at that time, how was your family? Like, were they?
So obviously they didn't know at first. They
Yeah.
didn't know at first. So what had happened, obviously now I've got social services involved. I'm obviously like quite heavily pregnant, but I wasn't really showing. So obviously I was quite young and stuff and then had good belly structure. So basically, the one day my mum was going shopping and I remember saying to the lady who worked in the social services, my mum's not going to be here. I'll pack my bags and come and meet me. But I've had to do all that myself at 15. Wow. So literally I remember just wrote a note, because I didn't turn to my mum. I don't know why. I just didn't. I thought she would go ballistic and disown me.
Did you feel like you were a bit scared to even tell her?
Yeah, because obviously growing up, even though I grew up in a Western society, my parents are still very cultured. So I grew up with that cultural background. So for me, you would hear things like parents disown and stuff like that. I just assumed automatically that that's what they would do. So then obviously social services met me downstairs. I then packed some stuff in a black bag, met them and I went. So obviously my mum's come back from shopping frantic and obviously calling and stuff. And obviously by this time now I'd already been placed in care. So my mum's wanting me back now. My mum didn't want to disown me.
Yes.
My mum's like, no, come home. But I'm scared now thinking, no, she's lying. She's going to kill me. So that's what I'm saying. She's going to kill me. But no, that's not what happened. She was fine. But now I was in care.
You were in the care system.
So she couldn't get me back. But that's what I mean. Once you get social services involved, it's very difficult. So
you went in the foster care system. You went in that system.
Yeah. So I was living in between 2 foster care homes.
Wow, at 15 and carrying a child.
Yeah, and while studying my GCSEs.
And how was everybody with you at school? Like how were they with you at school?
No one knew. I had one or two friends that I'm obviously friends with now, but no one knew.
No one knew.
Because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
So growing, do you remember?
So you had no morning sickness or any?
No,
Well,
nothing.
you're young and resilient.
That's what I mean. You've got energy.
Yeah.
Had nothing. Was at school. Teachers didn't even know.
Didn't even know.
No, because obviously it's a different. Socials didn't have to tell the teachers.
No, that's right.
No one knew nothing.
And that takes a lot, doesn't it? Like to hide that as well, and to be going about your everyday life, no one knowing, but that's pressure as well.
But then
on
we
you.
grew up in a society where there's no social media.
That's very true.
So, you know, like when you're, like now, you can Google. There was no Google.
Well, now I feel like you'd actually be under this spotlight. You'd feel the pressure
Yeah, but
more
you
because
Google.
you're on.
Yeah, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're pregnant?
Yeah.
What happened?
You can find out.
We had nothing.
Yeah.
And I had no one older to guide me or help me or to turn to.
Yeah.
And because I was, at this stage, I was at a second secondary school because I got kicked out of my first secondary school. So I didn't really have that friendship relationship with people as well. So
you were so isolated a little bit and on your
Yeah.
own, just going through this. Wow. And I mean, and your daughter now, she is...
my age, that age 15.
Yeah, look, and that's...
Full circle.
Full circle, yeah.
And I think that's why it's all kind of like now I'm doing a lot of reflecting because she's at that age and that's when my whole story started.
Yeah.
And I every day I count my blessings that she would never experience what I had to go through. She would never understand what that entails, and I've made sure that that would never be her story.
Wow. So let's say you're in the foster care, you have your daughter. You went through some real other personal losses, didn't you? Like, so I mentioned it in the bio, like you've had miscarriages still, but these are things that women go through, and these are traumatic experiences. And then being homeless. Yeah. How did you get the strength? Like, what was that? How did you find the strength in some of those low points of your life?
I think when you go through stuff, you know no different, do you? You literally know no different. So obviously I've gone into foster care, in between 2 foster care homes. And then I went into hostel. So, I mean, them days you'd go to obviously a homeless unit, they'd put you into a hostel. So I went into between 3 different hostels, absolutely hated it. They were just like hostels with, you'd share a bathroom. There's men in there and stuff like that. And bearing in mind I'm a young girl. So I was in and out sometimes like back in the day, I'd buy a £1 bus pass and literally me and my friend would like just ride the bus all night because we had nowhere to go.
I remember that, riding the buses.
Yeah,
the scratch one.
literally
And then we used to like put the date,
But you
change
just
it over,
ride the bus up
throw
and
it out
down.
the window to drop down to your
So I
friend.
meant from Camberwell to Croydon, that was a long journey
That is
then.
a
So we would
long
stay on there right to
journey.
the end where we
Yeah.
had to come off. But that was like how we,
want to go home.
Yeah.
but that's how we'd live.
Yeah.
That was us sleeping at times, sleeping on the back of a bus.
Look at that.
Because we didn't obviously want to go back. I didn't want to go back to the hostel, so that's what we would do. And at that stage, at 17, the council then gave me my own flat. So they gave it to me on licence, but they said to me, you have to have it on licence because you're underage. But so I've gone to this flat and I've got my own flat. But bearing in mind, didn't know what that meant as well. I didn't have any money. So at this stage, I had no money to furnish it. So them times it was just like concrete floor. There wasn't even any carpet. It was a proper council flat.
Gosh, yeah.
So literally, there was no money. So me and my best friend at the time, we were walking around the estate, just to suss out the estate.
Yeah.
Saw a used mattress.
Oh, wow.
So we carried a used mattress together
Because that's all, you had no choice.
because I needed to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really quite shocked at the council though, because if they know that you're young enough and that you need to have that particular type of license,
We're going back 20
tendency,
years though.
I understand, but it just feels like massive
Funding.
neglect, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I didn't
funding.
think of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
It
think
is
of it like that.
neglect, yeah.
They just gave me the keys. They didn't even escort me.
Yeah.
They didn't even do a viewing. I literally went to the council local office. This is in Peckham.
Yeah.
And I literally got the keys and they said, we've given you this flat. It's under 17. You've got to sign this. You've got to pay rent and council
I'll
tax.
be honest, I'm not too sure if the council's got any better. So, council's listening.
Yeah.
People, I know there's organisations that help young people. Like
Well, there's like that, a lot of independent living, like support homes and stuff now.
I don't know how it goes now, but
You used your street smart.
You did.
I had to pay
Streetwiseness.
council tax, like stuff like that, and pay my rent.
Like, what is this? What are these
Yeah,
bills?
that's true.
But I look back now. How did I even set up a direct debit? How did I even register to do that?
But I think all of that was your training for where we fast forward to this property. Because I'm thinking that like
What she's been through.
What you experienced
Because I think as well, many people, like just hearing the snippets of those things, many people would have probably given up.
Yeah, they would.
Like many people probably even, like they would have given up, but you just had that grit and determination, right, to just keep on going or
I think
navigating
when you're in it, you don't look at it like that. Like,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
that's what I keep saying.
I was just
there
in
any
it.
part of you
Yeah.
that wanted to run home to like
No,
no,
because also growing up in a cultured household, my parents were strict.
Yes.
So I grew up in a 2-bedroom council flat. There was 5 of us in this flat, so I've never ever had my own bedroom. And obviously, my mum's family were from Birmingham, so we had family come over and stay. So growing up, I never had privacy. I had two younger brothers.
Okay.
So I never had any space. My parents were
So
strict.
this was a bit of a freedom pass as well, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so my parents were a bit strict, and I never, as a child, got to experience, like my daughter goes to parties and stuff, and I'll drop her and pick her up. I didn't get to do any of that. I had friends that went to concerts like Drew Hill and Jodeci.
Yeah.
I didn't get to have that childhood because I wasn't allowed to do that.
Yeah, of course.
So I think when I've got my place now, it was like, okay, I've got my place. So I think I had to then find my way.
Yeah.
I remember my dad was paying my mobile phone bill. And my mum didn't know. And then one day my mum's come to the house, my mum went ballistic at him. What are you doing? She wanted to leave because my mum didn't want me to leave home. My mum didn't kick me out. My mum wanted me back. Because to her, like, no, you're meant to be with me.
Yeah.
So my mum made him take my name off the phone bill.
Oh no.
He said she wants to go in the world on her own, go and let her. So my mum
So
was
was
quite
that tough love?
My mum done tough love.
Yeah,
she done tough love.
She wanted you home. So
Yeah.
So she gave me no help, nothing. So that's what I say. So when I've got to this flat, she didn't help me furnish it. She didn't help me do nothing. Wow. Because that wasn't her decision.
Yeah, of course.
She had her way.
way, you'd be there.
Yeah. So for her, she wasn't helping me.
So you're now this young mum as well, young, beautiful daughter, and you're navigating through life. Yeah. Do you start working? What do you start doing as she gets older? Where does the journey then take you?
What do you mean for my daughter?
For you with your daughter at a young age.
Yeah.
You've now got your own flat.
Yeah.
Did you have to start finding a job?
Well, no, I had a job all the whole time.
From you were
For when I was in school.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
so literally, I had a job. I worked at JJB Sports in Old Kent Road. So I remember going there one Saturday with my mum, and I literally pulled up, walked around, said to the manager, "Do you have any part-time jobs?" I got a job there and there. I mean, the world was different. I got a job there and there. He said, "Have you got NI?" I said, "Yep." And I literally started the following week.
Okay.
So I was going to school Monday to Friday. I was pregnant while doing that job. Wow. They didn't even know.
Wow. I mean, the whole work ethic resilience.
Yeah, so I was working every Saturday and Sunday. So I was literally going to school Monday to Friday, working every Saturday and Sunday, was pregnant there. They would say to me, "You're eating a lot lately."
Oh.
Yeah, but obviously they didn't know. They obviously now I was like addicted to Dr. Pepper and stuff.
Yeah, all these cravings kicking in.
Yeah, so they would obviously realise, like, you've been eating a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody mentioned that the weight gain or anything like that.
because I'm young, innit? I don't think they thought it.
No.
Yeah. Well, they say that as well. You
It's
know,
not
there's
politically correct though, is it? In the
no,
workplace?
but also I think they say as a woman, like if our mind doesn't kind of agree that we are pregnant as such, it says that the body won't react. So, unless we like accept it and go, then we start blooming. But if we're kind of fighting that, because I've heard some other stories where women are carrying, but you would not know they're carrying because in their mind, they're kind of not really believing that it's happening to them as well. So it could have been a little bit that.
So I had obviously the job at JJB Sports, and then I got a job at Debenhams in West End. But all of this stuff, I just done it myself. That's what I mean. Like I literally applied for application forms.
Who helped you with childcare?
Unfortunate baby, I lost a baby. I had a stillbirth. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously I had to go through that grief at 16. Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, like that's difficult to go through.
Yeah. So
because there's been a few little losses for you as well, hasn't there? And how did you kind of face that and overcome that? Do you think was it because you were just young?
Had no choice.
And you had no choice. Yeah.
I mean, so obviously I was pregnant at 15, had a stillbirth at 16, then got pregnant again at 19 and had another stillbirth. That was at 6.5 months as well. Again, just knew no different, just had to survive. Then I had my daughter when, obviously later in life, had my daughter, and obviously I was monitored very closely when I was pregnant with my daughter. And then after my daughter, I went and had 5 back-to-back miscarriages. I mean, the first one was at the 3-month scan. She came in a room, her and her dad were late. They've come in a room, she was about 8. She's like, "Mummy, you're having a baby." So excited. And then obviously they went quiet, and then 10 minutes later, they were like, "There's no heartbeat." So I'm crying, and she's had to get escorted out the room. So obviously, then got pregnant again and literally had 5 back-to-back miscarriages. And I've ruled out more kids now. But I think when you're younger, you have this dream. I wanted 4 kids. I wanted like the big family.
And now you don't. You feel that's all changed for you. Yeah.
I'm grateful for my one. There's people out here that can't even have kids. So I'm grateful for my one.
Yeah. And I mean, all what you've gone through, I think, is just building who you are, Aisha, and the incredible woman that you are. You also survived quite an abusive relationship, didn't you? It nearly cost you your life.
Yeah. That's when I was 19.
Did that, how did you kind of escape from that? Because, you know, I think sharing a bit of that story is going to really help other women.
I mean, domestic violence is such a big thing. I think once you go through it, you will never, ever allow another man to put his hand on you. But it's how sad it is, you have to kind of go through it. And I think, I'd say 80% of women have been through it. And it's obviously some people are embarrassed, some people don't talk about it. I think after lockdown, it's more of a known thing and people more talk about it and support women with it. And it's a bad thing. And I don't think anyone has the right to put their hand and control anyone.
No.
But I was obviously 19 at the age, so still quite young myself, figuring things out. And I got with this guy, and he was older. He was like a music producer. He had the limelight and fame. I was so excited. Oh, he was awful. Literally, I mean, I ended up with having stitches on my head. He took me to the hospital.
He took you to the hospital?
So
Bust my head.
Talk though, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
like obviously blood pouring out everywhere.
That's why it's there,
blood pouring out everywhere. I had to have stitches in my head. I had a broken nose. I've got a chipped front tooth that the dentist can't fix. Because
real scars. Real scars.
And I didn't think I'd ever get out. I mean, I've had friends at the time get into fights with him sticking up for me. So they've actually had fights with him.
Wow.
It was a tough journey with that, and he lived with me as well. So it was really difficult because I couldn't get him out and stuff. And I mean, I remember the last time we got into a fight and I had a massive black eye. I mean, it was massive. And I went to work the next day. I was working in banking then, so I was a cashier. And they actually said to me, you need to go home, because everyone was like looking, and all the customers were looking at my eyes, asking questions, because it was like out there. I went home, and I think he then realised like this needs to stop. And then I just poured his stuff out in black bags, and he went.
And he left.
Yeah.
And that ended that relationship.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want that even for your daughter or.
I used to like literally think, how am I going to get rid of this guy?
Yeah. I mean, sitting listening to you and then seeing this amazing photos of a woman. This is why we wanted to have Aisha on the podcast, because, you know, even just listening to all of that, what you've been through, and now all the things you're achieving and have achieved is so inspiring.
Just can't give up.
It's so
inspiring. There's a saying that says some people give up because it's hard. Some people go because it's hard. So you have a choice. You can either give up because it's hard. Yeah.
Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. So I think from a young age, I knew I wanted better, but I didn't know what better entailed.
Okay.
So like I said, I grew up in a household that didn't have a lot of money. So I got my first designer night trainers at 16, 17. I didn't grow up. So when I'm going to school and my friends have got like their PE trainers and stuff like that, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with money.
Yeah.
Do you think though, that I always think that, or find that when you come from a less privileged background, that these are the people that end up being the entrepreneurs and the trailblazers, because they want more.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, there's a saying that you're not, if you're born poor or not born into privilege, it's not your choice.
Yeah.
But how you die is it's not to say that everybody's going to be a millionaire, but I think you have a choice.
I think that's that saying, once you've been at the bottom, there's nowhere else to go. You can't go back to bottom.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nowhere to go. I've been bottom, so there's no way I'd ever go back to that, because I know what that life was like, and I wouldn't want to be in that life again.
So can I ask, when was the transition or the mind shift? Did you do therapy where you decided?
One book.
One book.
Okay, we've got to hear about this.
Tell us the book. Can we have the book?
The Secret. Okay.
I'm telling
Secret.
I'm telling you, it's called The Secret, and everyone needs to read this book. So this was in 2007.
Yeah.
I'm working in property at London and Quadrant Housing, and I'm just sitting.
Look at this, incredible.
And I'm literally sitting down at a desk, and the girl opposite me, someone bought this book, and I'm like, what's this book? So she talked about this book. I've ran to W.S. Smith at lunchtime, and I went and bought the book, and I was going away on a girls' trip the next day to Tunisia, and I've literally brought this book with me. So on a plane, we're talking about this book, and then we had this is our first kind of girls' trip in a 5-star, all-inclusive luxury. Like, we were only like, what, 18?
Wow.
We were excited.
Yeah.
We got there, it wasn't what we thought. We got to this hotel, the food was crap, the alcohol was like some brand we never even heard, and there was 5 of us, and the room was like awful. And then we were like, oh my God, and then I've gone to a rep now, like I'm like, oh my God, like this is not what we envisioned. She said, all the hotels are fully booked in Tunisia. So we were devastated, like we didn't even want to eat the dinner. And bearing in mind, like, it cost, at that age, it cost us a lot of money.
Saving
that trip. Anyway, so we've gone back to that room that night. I started reading The Secret. I started reading it out loud and talking about it. The next morning, the rep called us.
You've got a room upgrade or
No,
something.
we went to a whole different resort.
Wow.
Princess Jasmine Hotel.
Look at
it was
that.
better than what we visioned.
Look at that. Look at that.
Manifestation.
Manifestation is real. Yeah.
Instant.
That's
Yeah.
where that is literally where my journey started.
Oh, wow.
Like literally.
So that really shifted like your mindset, opened things up,
Yeah.
and then you were working at the time as well. But tell us a little bit. You got into the world of property, and this is like the amazing stuff we're seeing behind. How did you get into that? Because you even became director at Savills. Like this is amazing to
Do
hear.
you know what? By chance. Like it's crazy. So
accidents.
so at 17 I was working in the bank as a cashier, and then retail banking doesn't pay well. So again, everything boiled back to I wanted more. I wanted a nice life, but I couldn't like fund it. So at 17 now I had to pay rent and council tax. So I had friends that would go out and go to Selfridges. I couldn't join them because I had to pay my bills and buy furniture for my place. So then I started doing a CMAP qualification to become a trainee mortgage advisor, and I'd done that myself. And then one day my friend, he said to me, oh, just follow me to the petrol station. I thought, okay, I'll come with you. While he's putting petrol in the car, I'm gone in and looking at this good old South London Press. There was this job. And it was like double the money I was on. And it was literally a leasehold kind of officer working at London and Quadrant Housing. So then I thought, I'm going to apply for this, because it talked about mortgages on there. And I thought, okay, well, I'm training to be a mortgage advisor. I'll use that. Anyway, so I've gone to the interview, and I've done such a great interview. I thought like they loved me, like we vibed on the interview. Didn't get the job. So I've gone back to my bank, whatever, got on. A week later, the HR manager called me. You didn't get the job because someone internally got it, but they really liked you that much, they've created another position for you.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
And that's how I got the job, and that's how I started in property.
And then you've just built.
When I started, it was tough. I used to go home in tears every day because, like I said, I didn't have the education behind me. So I started, it was an office job. Before that, I was just a cashier. So I was just a cashier, literally cashing money, working on the system. I didn't have to write a letter. I didn't have to know how to use a computer. So I've now arrived in the office and literally like having to write letters, having to understand. But I didn't know what I was doing. So I was kind of mocked, I was kind of picked on, and I've literally, but then I thought, I need this money because I want this nice life and no one's going to give me this money. So I used to go home in tears, but I had to come up and show up every day. And I did suffer a bit of racism. It was hard because like it was obviously in a predominantly white area, everyone was kind of predominantly white. It was really difficult as a woman of colour. But again, I had to fight and just continue because now I was earning this money and I couldn't go back to the money I was earning. Because like I said, I wanted to now go on holiday. Had I not been there, I couldn't have gone on that Tunisia girls trip. So I had to then fight. But I've just worked my way up. I've literally just worked and I've just applied for jobs, and it's at the interview stage. I think people buy into me. I've done that same fake it till you make it. So I've gone into an interview, actually not really like being able to do the job, but I've kind of said, oh yeah, I can do this. So I went to a job and said I was manager of my previous job, but I actually wasn't. but I knew I could manage.
I love this. Fake it till you make it.
You know what?
But
I don't-
that's every
It's
single
not even fake it.
yes.
I think it's a confidence.
I don't believe in fake it.
I think it's a confidence.
But it's a bit of a white lie.
By people.
Yeah.
People.
But that's
And they
exactly
picked by
it.
people.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you, even if you don't know that the
Yeah.
ins and outs of the job, and you can see the hunger
Yeah.
and the passion, and that somebody can probably rise to the occasion,
Yeah.
then you're going to give that person more of the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Somebody who's just a little bit, for the lack of a better word,
Yeah.
a bit like, you know.
Yeah,
And I
or
think
somebody that just looks good on paper,
Yeah.
but then
Looks
you
on
know
paper,
can't
they're just a
deliver.
bit boring in real
Yeah,
life, and they've
yeah.
got no interaction.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I was
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah.
And that's what they could see. And the hustle was in me from a young age. I knew no difference. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So even though I might have like done a white light the interview and gone to the job and like, oh my God, what do I do? But what I did do is I worked goddamn hard on every
Yeah.
single role. Hence
Yeah.
why when I've then applied for another role, I've then worked my way up. So
Yeah.
I was willing to put that work in.
And I mean, let's move forward to what you've achieved. Like you've built a 6-figure business
Yeah.
and a 7-figure portfolio. And that's no small kind of like, you know, what were the biggest challenges though in that? Because I mean, you've mentioned a little bit being in that corporate world.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some of the challenges,
Yeah.
you know, a woman of colour in that predominantly white
Yeah.
corporate world. What were some of the challenges that you kind of faced and got over?
I mean, I work in a corporate world. It is very predominantly white. Colour is a very big thing in there, and it is like it's something that they do address and they want to kind of resolve. But I think when I got my job at Savills, what Savills teaches you is the art of networking, and that's when I learned about networking, how important it is, and how relationship building is.
Yeah.
So when I've done that, I then built a lot of contacts in that property corporate world, and that's what's helped me navigate and set up on my own. I never grew up being an entrepreneur. And my family didn't own shops or businesses.
Yeah.
My dad worked and my mum was a housewife. So I never really grew up thinking, oh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to own a business. I'm going to do this. When the opportunity came, it was like, you need to set up this limited company. But I was like, no, I want PAYE. That's what I was used to.
Yeah.
And then I just took the risk and it's literally planned out. So again, it goes back to, in my whole life, God has put someone in every stage of my life that's helped elevate me to another level.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is how my whole story has gone.
Yeah.
So like this person come in and said to me, this is what you need to do. I took the risk and it's now giving me a great life now that like my daughter goes to a private school. I'm in the fortunate position to be able to give her
Look at
the
that.
better life that I
Yeah,
didn't have.
absolutely.
So I'm absolutely grateful every day. But it's been challenging, like working in the corporate world. What I had to do is, when I started, I had to go in, I had to learn their culture. So how crazy it is, no one's ever took time out to understand my culture. No one's took time out to understand my music or what I like. I had to go and learn to understand their music, like Arctic Monkeys, like that. I never.
Arctic Monkeys.
But this example,
Yeah.
like I never.
But I know what you mean.
That
Yeah,
wasn't my. That
yeah.
wasn't the thing that I liked.
Yeah.
That was, but I had to understand that was their thing. They would talk about it the next concert,
All the
or this is
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
So I had to understand that.
So,
They would be like,
culturally
they'll
completely
be like, are you in a
opposite.
queue to get a ticket, master, to get a ticket for this person? I'm thinking,
Like, who are
Who is that person? Who is that artist?
but what I had to do is understand their culture. So is that when I went into Savills that they go skiing? I've never been skiing because why am I leaving my cold country to go to another cold country?
It's so true.
skiing.
No,
Have you been skiing?
no,
She's like,
never.
I'm not doing skiing.
No.
Yeah, I would take that as an opportunity to at least try.
I know, but
I do get it.
She would then be a professional skier.
But I had to learn about like their culture, their
I was gonna
likes,
say,
and
when you get there, you're on the nursery slopes anyway, so it's embarrassing.
oh,
It's like
true.
5-year-olds skiing
but
around.
apparently you're not cold when you're there. Apparently the sun's
The
out.
sun is beaming.
It
Yeah.
gets off the ice, it's warm.
But no, but yeah, so I had to go in and understand. So what's one thing as well, like it's about that mindset and resilience, but you come across people that say, oh, there's no opportunities for me. There's not. You have to make them opportunities. You have to go into that workplace, wherever it is, whatever sector you're working in, and literally own it. So you have to open that door. I've had rejections. I've had doors closed on me. I've literally remember like 10 years ago talking to people that I thought would never talk to me. Now we WhatsApp. Now we'll FaceTime. Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But I had to make my way, open them doors, and just go in and own it. And become confident in myself and right, I am who I am. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I'd love to like teach people that mindset, that resilience, and that's all it takes.
And let's talk about that because your business, Inspire New Homes.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your business and tell us, you know, what you're wanting to do in moving forward. Where are we at now?
So my journey has always been helping first-time buyers get on a property ladder. So that's kind of worked at housing associations, specialising in shared ownership, and that's kind of what my passion is. I've helped over 1,000 first-time buyers get on a property ladder. I launched Inspire New Home. So what that business model is going and as a consultant and helping housing.
Yeah, we're giving her a big clap. Get that clap out, DJ QG. Yeah, sorry, go on.
So basically what I now do is use my years of expertise. I now help local authorities, smaller housing associations that don't have that in-house expertise to help them sell their homes. So basically, I go in, help them strategize because they need to sell their homes in order to reinvest that money into building more social. So that's how the model works. So all the councils and housing associations, they simply build new homes so they can use a profit to then house social housing, so that there's not enough social housing people need. So that's kind of always been my business model. And like I said, I've built a 6-figure business through word of mouth. And that is literally, again, all about the art of networking, relationship building. I'm really fortunate, like I said, in life, God has always put someone in front of me to help me navigate to the next chapter. But I've always had people that want to see me win. And I think also it boils down...
Very important.
Very
really
important.
important.
Literally, what I stand by is just be a nice person. Be a nice person, be a good person. And I've got so much people that just help me. I didn't have the education. I don't write a report. I wouldn't even know what to do. But I have people that will rewrite it for me. My LinkedIn post, I write my LinkedIn post, but people rewrite it for me.
But do you think that's a little bit about being honest and transparent
100%.
about where you're at?
Where you're at.
And then you find that people want to help.
You've got to be authentic. You've got to be yourself.
Because they can see the bits where you're really powerful,
Yeah.
and then they can see the areas that you're not so.
No, and
then you can't do it all. 'cause
Rome
you're
weren't built by itself. Do you know what I mean? You need
But
to
your
support
network is
people.
your net worth, and I think
Absolutely.
the important thing that you did, which I experienced in the corporate world, is that you took your experiences and probably some of their clients with you.
Yeah. Not their clients, they'll sue me.
Not their clients, yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, you know, if you take me to a party and I'm mingling with these people,
You have to.
and then it's not your client. It might be your client,
Yeah.
but now it's my friend.
You have to.
And so
It's all about
I think
relationship
it's about-
building.
It's relationship building.
Yeah.
It's being a little bit savvy and knowing that. Unless you, I mean, I don't know, the corporate world is very taxing, isn't it? It's,
But even like
soul
person,
destroying sometimes as well,
It
because
is.
after a while you're playing this game for a long time,
Yeah.
and then you're like, actually, now I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
So you decided to step out, do it on your own, build this business, but then after this business, what comes next?
Yeah, for me, next, I feel like, so what's interesting is that I never shared that story with anyone for years.
Wow.
So I've only shared it this year.
Yeah.
I've got friends, I've actually got 2 good friends in the audience here, come to support me.
Yeah, hi friends! How incredible is she, honestly?
They didn't even know the story, some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it, they didn't even know parts of.
Have you done therapy?
I've only started this year.
I think that sometimes we do therapy through conversations
Didn't
with
do
our
it,
friends,
yeah.
but I think you're never too
No.
old for therapy, are you?
No, I didn't do any of that. And I've got friends that have been in the early life or later in life, and I never share that story with anyone. So even like my work, I never used that story to get anywhere because you know what it is for me? I was embarrassed.
Yes.
I thought that no one would employ me because of what I've been through. I thought it wouldn't, people wouldn't take me serious.
Yeah.
I had to get to a place in my life, now I'm in my 40s, to have that confidence, know that if someone don't like it, who cares? I will get a job. Someone will employ me if my business fails. So for me, I'm confident enough now to share my story because I feel like this is my calling now to give back.
Absolutely.
So my giving back now, what's next for me is to inspire the next generation of women. What I want to do is obviously within the property world is offer training and support to build the next future leaders. So work with really large organisations like councils, big developers in order to train their staff up to become the next leaders because you need more colour at the top. Absolutely. So I want to kind of work to do that, but I also want to do kind of more mentoring, coaching to literally inspire other women that might think that they can't see that light, but that light's there, keep going. Build that mindset, set your goals. You've got 6 pillar life goals, literally where you are now, where do you want to go next? And literally it's all about your mindset. I've always been clear, I've always done vision boards, I've always kind of written out what I want. And it's weird because everything. I'm living that dream life that I once thought I wanted to. I'm living my dream house. Everything that I want, I've always achieved. But it's literally, you just have to be positive. You have to have that mindset.
It's
real.
I mean,
it is real.
I can imagine the amount of things that you can manifest.
You can.
In this whole podcast, we've seen the women that come on here and they've all said similar stories.
Absolutely.
And even us being here, it's a similar story.
Yeah.
The manifestation is positive.
It is.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Believe in it.
Put out that energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is what I love about you, Ash, because you have that confidence, but you still, no matter all the things you've been through, you want to give back.
Yeah.
You want to help.
Yeah.
You want to inspire. You want to encourage, and you want to help the next generation, which
important.
is so important. There's no like.
Well, I've got a daughter. She's that next generation.
Absolutely.
I mean, I had a conversation with her. We was away a couple of months ago, and she obviously thinking about buying a car. She thought I was going to buy her a car.
What do you mean, Mum? What do you mean, Mum? Why are you not buying me a car?
That's exactly what she said. She goes, Mummy, you can afford to buy a car.
afford to buy my car now,
I'm
Mum.
like, no.
No, the hustle is real, darling. We're still
I'm
got
not buying
hustle.
a car. She wants this Audi A1. She went not a trader.
Not a little banger, right? We're not going there yet. No.
I said, you need to get...
The celebrity suits that she's not getting.
Yeah.
Then she said about insurance. I said, maybe I'll contribute, but...
more than the car.
I said to her, no. I said to her, you need to get a job and you need to get a part-time job. I said, my parents didn't.
It's important. It's so important.
Hollywood stars she's carried the same mindset.
No, not doing
my
it.
children, they'd rather leave it to their cat.
Yeah.
No, not...
I mean, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit too harsh, but yeah.
Not doing it. No, and I've installed that thing. And so obviously she's fortunate enough to go to a private school, but from young age, I'm always been good with money. So we don't have takeaway. We have home cooked food on Monday to Thursday, Friday night. All
right, Mum.
Yeah.
All right, don't embarrass us that now and then we have a little takeaway.
But that's not how I grew up. So
Yeah,
she cooks. She does a lot of cooking as well. But
that's a cultural thing as well. Because I feel like even though you've got it, it doesn't mean you should eat out all the time. I think it's a nice treat.
It's a treat.
But then it's not realistic. For
No.
life,
It should be a privilege, shouldn't it? It should be a little treat.
She asks me, can I get Uber Eats? She would never order an Uber Eats without checking with me first.
Course.
No, because I know everything she spends on my account because that's how I grew up.
But you're still instilling that foundation to her in that respect, and that's so good.
You have to.
So how can people that are listening, how can they get involved with you now, Ash? Like, what services are you offering? How can
you can go on to Inspire New Homes. I've got an Instagram, Inspire Together. If you want to have a chat, if you want to just have a chat with regards to coaching or mentoring, or if you're just feeling stuck and you just don't know what is that next step, how do you navigate that change, just get in touch. I'm here, and like I said, I just want to help other women, kind of like either you've climbed that corporate ladder, just finding yourself stuck in a domestic violence relationship, whatever you're going through, there's a light.
And what would you say to, like, I don't know, any woman that's like listening, or anybody that's listening today, to kind of keep them inspired? What advice would you say to them?
Just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Just don't give up. Like literally, I mean, there were times when I remember, like, I worked in a banking in Fleet Street and I'd walk over Blackfriars Bridge. I would walk crying on the inside. Like literally, because I knew this wasn't my life. I wanted a better life. And I must have been like, 17 now, I was earning about 18,000 a year. And bearing in mind, I had my own place, I had to furnish it. It wasn't a lot of money. And I was on my own. I would just remember walking over that bridge, just crying on the inside, just thinking, oh my God, I want a better life. And I didn't know how I was going to get that better life. I didn't have like the skill sets, the education. I didn't have like the rich family. I didn't have like the rich friends or anyone like that, role models around me. But I didn't give up. I just carried on being a nice person, working hard, pushing, and it's all paid off. So just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Can I elaborate on that point quickly? So I was speaking to an organisation by the name of Cache this morning, and they actually help young people, homeless people in the system. I actually came into an interaction with them when I was younger. But I said to them that I would love to come and speak to some of their young women that are trying to get into business. And I'd like to ask if there's something that your company would like to pay forward and come and speak with the young
people. Look at that.
And I think that's what it needs. It just needs like one thing, just don't give up. You just got to keep going.
because they do. Unfortunately, if we don't see anybody that looks like us that's doing
it,
they don't believe it.
And then
Absolutely.
also, there's not also the people that are being championed in the media, unfortunately.
No.
So you know, unless we are all kind of celebrating one another and talking about our wins and our losses, then they're not going to know what's
And
out
what's
there.
interesting, I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and what we said is that social media makes you feel like you're not successful unless you're like earning
Being
7
seen,
figures, unless you're influenced, unless you have a rich boyfriend or something like that. That doesn't define success.
No.
Success can be anything.
Success for me was waking up.
Exactly, and that's what it's about,
Getting
changing
up
that
every
narrative,
day.
changing that narrative, and people like not losing their motivation because I don't have this or have access to that. You can build your own success.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Asha, I think you are just incredible, and I've told you this already, and I know your story is it's just gonna resonate and just touch so many different people. Just your not giving up, your hustle mentality, your determination, like the courage that you have as a woman is just so powerful. And I know that so many people are gonna connect with you and wanna know you and want you to help them and mentor them, because you're just that beautiful soul that just wants to kind of give and inspire new homes. So
That's what I call it, inspire. That was it. That's
inspirational.
What inspire?
That's what it says on the tin.
it does, yeah.
Literally, the name just it was random. I had to quickly choose a
And
name
they
5
came.
years ago.
And I mean, just quickly before we finish up with you, but you've won some awards. Let's not let you go without sharing some of the
And I do
amazing
judging on property awards, I know.
Judging, and name some of the awards that you've
So, like,
won
literally,
as
they're
well.
all like property Resi awards.
Look at this.
There's an Inspiring Women in Property.
Look at that.
First Time Buyer Market Awards.
This one here.
Evening Standard.
Oh wow.
Evening, that's a big one, that was.
This is
That one's
the
first
young
time buyer.
15-year-old.
I know.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And this
Do
is
you look
what
back
we see
sometimes
now.
and think, wow, and give yourself a hug?
100%.
Do you?
Yeah, like, I think back, like, and that's what I'm saying. Don't give up.
Don't give
if I
up.
gave up, like you said, if I'd given up at that time, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't go on a nice holidays. I wouldn't have my daughter. I wouldn't have achieved all the great stuff
I mean,
I
I
have.
think what you'll definitely help people with is like really visualize as well. Know what you want to go for and go for it. If there's opportunity, take the opportunity as well.
100%.
There's people that are going to come in and out of our lives at every different stage and journey.
It's enjoying that as well. They
Enjoy
come
the
for they come for a reason,
Yeah,
and that's what I've learned. I've had friends come in and out. I've had people come in and out, but they've all come and served their purpose, and they've helped me elevate to that next level.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
grateful.
that's important, isn't
and I'm
it?
grateful, and I've got the
Celebration.
grateful tattoo, and I stand by that every day. Like literally, it's so important
Well,
to be
she
grateful.
inspires me so much, and I am so grateful and honoured that she came on the podcast. And I'm really, really happy that you did. Keep on going, like you know what you say to us. I know that you're just going to just keep on elevating and help others elevate. And we wish you every success
you.
with it.
Thank you so much, Asha.
How amazing has Aisha been? You are fantastic. For those of you who are, thank you, Andrew. For those of you who are on live, we're just going to take a quick break. So stay with us. We will come back.
10 minutes.
Yeah, because we have an incredible guest.
Part 2.
Second one. Woo!
that was absolutely amazing. Give us a hug. Are you out of breath?
Yeah, take a moment. Take a moment. Hey.
Whilst you take a moment, I'm going to read out your bio because it's so inspirational. I mean, I'm actually wanting, when I grow up, I want to be like you. That's how inspirational it is.
And I want to move like Skylar. Yeah.
Okay, so Skylar Blue made her dance debut on Britain's Got Talent at the tender age of 7. Years old, and having learned how to dance on Zoom and had only been dancing for 8 months prior to that, Jada Pinkett Smith, yes, Will Smith's wife, well, questionable, anyway, Jada Pinkett Smith posted one of her dance videos on her main feed, which saw the clip go viral and catapult this young performer into the spotlight. She was invited to a special screening of Wicked and got to meet Ariana Grande, also another performer and actress who started her career as a child star. She also had the privilege of meeting the Queen, God rest her soul, making history as the first person of colour to dance around the whole of Buckingham Palace.
Oh, look at that! Yes!
Oh, we met Queen Camilla, not
Queen Camilla.
See, I'm making up boo-boos today. She has just finished filming a feature film, wow, in Croatia, oh my goodness, for 3 months. That comes out in September. Congratulations. And Skylar featured in the M&S Christmas advert and on Blue Peter, and has also featured in Sophie Ellis Bextor's music video. That wasn't Murder on the Dance Floor, was it?
No.
She has won a variety of modelling contracts, not to mention securing a scholarship to fly to Canada to dance at a huge convention. Can we get a round of applause for that? I think it's safe to say, Skylar, that you're destined for greatness, and we cannot wait to watch you continue to smash your goals out the park, and just the world is your oyster.
Absolutely. Welcome, Skylar Blue.
Yeah.
Gosh, now you've achieved so much. Do you remember when you go back, because you're still young, you're 10 now, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can't take Skylar Blue back too much. But when you first started dancing, what was the first style of dance that you kind of really enjoyed? Do you remember?
I think it was like lyrical.
Yeah.
But one of my first ever dance classes was jazz, so it's always been like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazz, lyrical, that kind of. What's your favourite style now to do?
Latin and ballroom.
Well, I mean, look at the moves that you just gave us just there. So, I mean, tell us, like, Jada Pinkett Smith reposted your video. How did that feel?
So I was like 6, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was.
No.
But my mum explained it to me a bit, and I was like, wow, this is my first ever like big thing, and I was
That is
like,
huge.
I was really excited because
Can I
like,
ask, what did Mum explain to you? Did she show you a movie, or did she say this lady's married to this person? Like, what happened?
yeah. So she just showed me this woman, and she was like, she's really famous, and I was like, wow.
Did you know her daughter was a singer/rapper, Willow Smith?
Yes.
And Whip My Hair. Do you like that song?
Yeah, I love that song.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, you started to learn to dance on Zoom. What was that like, and did your kitchen or your mum's kitchen become your stage?
So, I mean, it was COVID, so like, I just started doing, I was really bored, right? So I just thought, you know, ask Mum if I could do like, because I didn't know what dance was called. I said, can I do movement? And I was like, and my mum was like, yeah, sure. So I did this Zoom class with Jason Williams.
Yeah, all nice.
And he was like my first ever dance dad, and he's just changed my life so much. He's just like, and he was the person who kind of like built up my technique, but obviously my mum helps with a lot of that.
Okay, so am I right in saying that Mummy is sort of like your mummager?
Yeah.
But Mummy also has dance skills as well, right? She had dance skills. Used to. But that's important, right? Because
Yeah.
Mum is also a very inspirational person
Yeah.
for you, isn't she? Because she takes you everywhere as well, so you have to thank Mum. Now you met Ariana Grande and the Queen. So who made you more nervous, do you think?
probably the Queen.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, you're in a palace with loads of gold around you. Smells nice.
Yeah.
And
I've never been to the palace.
I mean, you're lucky. Like, so many people haven't had the opportunity and won't get the
Yeah.
opportunity to go to the palace. So you have. So what was that day like for you? Was it exciting?
it was very exciting. I got to basically see every room in the palace.
How many rooms is there?
Can't count.
Oh, lost count.
Yeah, I lost count.
There's loads though, isn't there, in the palace, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So you're passionate about dance, aren't you, Skylar? Like,
Yeah.
Tell us what does dance mean to you?
Well, without dance, I'd probably just be miserable, laying in my bed, eating chips.
We don't want that.
No.
Yeah. We don't want you laying in your bed eating
No.
chips. So you go.
It's
I
just
actually
like,
feel your pain though.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd like to be lying in my bed eating chips.
it's just miserable.
Yeah.
Like, without dance, like, it's just what I'm meant to do, you know?
Yeah. You've really found your passion and your purpose,
Yeah.
haven't you? Do you dance every day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every day.
yeah. I
What
try
would you-
to.
What would you advise somebody like a 4-year-old or somebody, say 5-year-old wanting to get into dance? What kind of advice would you give them? Like how they should start?
Just like, you know, just don't give up, you know, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Just
Yeah.
don't give up. You've like, you're gonna do classes that you don't like, but you're gonna go to an audition someday and they're gonna want you to do that style, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna already know it, so you're basically just gonna be good at it. And sometimes you just gotta do things you don't do, but then you just gotta commit.
Yeah, that's
Just-
that's great advice. And
Yeah.
what if they don't have supportive family like yourself around them? How would you suggest that they kind of still manage to get a little bit of knowledge around dance? Where could they go maybe to learn? Maybe YouTube?
Yeah, well, at the beginning, I used to get most of my technique off of YouTube, and
Smart girl.
like, thank you.
Was there anyone that you loved watching at the time?
I mean, I do different ones.
Yeah.
From a very young age,
Yeah.
I used to do like the advanced ones
Oh,
because
I
like
can't even do the advanced ones.
because like if you just stick to like what you find easy, if you're a beginner and you keep on doing the beginner classes, you're never gonna get like better. You have to push yourself into the advanced classes. Otherwise, you're just staying where you really shouldn't be. You should be pushing yourself.
That's very
Yes, that's such good advice. And you dance like every day and you take a lot of classes, don't you?
Yeah.
And tell us how much work though really goes in, because there could be lots of other young children that are really inspired by you, Skylar, and think, oh, she makes it look so easy. But you work really hard, don't you? Tell us how much work you put in.
So it also helps because I'm homeschooled.
Okay.
So I get to do even more
Yeah.
dance. I still do my proper school hours, but I find it easier, and it's just like, I love it. And when you love something so much, you just can't stop doing it. Like, my mum gets quite frustrated at me because when it's time for bed, I just go in her room and show her this dance I made up in the shower, and I'm just like, oh, I made a new routine to MJ for you. Do you want to watch it?
So it's
And
mummy your testing board?
Yeah, she's basically like
She
my
signs it
scientist.
off.
She like,
She
yeah, my
Scientist.
scientist. She tests everything,
Everything,
and she just
yes.
tells me if it's good or bad.
But do you know what I like, Skylar? The timing is just before bedtime. You know,
Yeah,
that's
just
a
before
really
bedtime.
sensible time, isn't it, to
Absolutely
get mum's
sensible, yeah,
attention when you
exactly.
should go in bed. Now, you've done a lot of work. Like, you've done a lot of stuff, commercials, has there been anything that's been like your real like favourite thing to do?
The M&S Christmas advert.
I mean, did we all see? I'm sure we all did see the beautiful M&S Christmas commercial. Skylar was
that
fantastic.
was just insane.
It's a good experience.
Yeah. It was just like, I met so many people that I still talk to right now, and like, just everyone on set, and like, the way I was flying up in the air, and it was just so cool.
Yeah,
I
of
love it.
course.
Special effects, was that really you flying?
No, I had this harness on. I got a wedgie most of the time.
Oh,
That's
Yeah, but it was really fun. You
the
know?
byproduct of
Yeah.
creativity.
But when I saw the final project,
project.
yeah,
Like the
project,
first time.
yeah, project, it was like, when I saw it on the TV, I was like so amazed, because like, obviously behind the scenes you see things that not everyone sees, and you don't really know how it's going to come out.
Yeah.
But when I saw it on the TV and I was flying up in the air, and it was just insane.
Oh,
Did
the
your friends and family
excitement.
just be like, oh my goodness, like, we saw your TV, did you get all of that as well?
Yeah, I did. I got so many of my best friends supporting me, and obviously my family.
lovely.
And
Yeah.
everything.
And you're such an inspiration, I think, to many adults and young, so not, just everyone. But who inspires you, Skylar? Do you have anybody that inspires you?
Misty Copeland and my mum.
Oh, I love
Could you say the
that.
first one again? I didn't quite hear.
Misty Copeland.
Oh, Misty Copeland.
Copeland, yeah, look at that, and
obviously
Mum.
Yeah.
Mum's number one, right?
Yeah.
And is there, you've done lots of things, but is there some things that you really, really want to achieve? Like they're still on your list of what you want to do, or maybe who you want to work with?
I just want to be doing big movies and living my dream. Doing movies.
Big movies, yeah.
Big movies and
Agents
Hollywood.
and
And just, and I've already got amazing jobs for the age I'm at right now, but I'm just going to keep on working hard, and hopefully by the time I'm 15 or an adult, I'll be doing big movies, maybe even making my own movies.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I just want to be
I see
everywhere.
that for you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really see it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something about filming your feature film in Croatia? Because it's not coming out till September. Is there anything that you're allowed to tell us about it? Like your role or what you did, or without telling us about it?
Okay.
Yeah, is she signed under NDA, Mum?
I'm pretty sure she is. Okay, excellent.
So she could talk a little bit about it. Cool.
So, my role is Maria, right? And I've got this amazing family, and it's not adopting, but we kind of take care of this orphan girl, right?
Yeah.
Name's Momo. And on the set, it was amazing. The house was under a proper hill.
Wow.
And it was obviously we filmed in loads of different parts of Croatia, and every time I'd go to a different part, it was just amazing. And I loved getting a tan, obviously, but it was just, filming everything was just amazing.
Yeah.
And I love filming movies and everything I do, but it was just absolutely amazing.
And can I say, filming movies, in the industry, everybody thinks that's all it's very glitz and glam, but it's really long days, isn't it,
Yeah.
Skylar? So, how do you kind of keep motivated? Because it's long days that you're doing shoots. How do you stay motivated while you're on a film set?
So I've got lots of energy, so I don't really get tired.
She doesn't get tired.
So I don't really know how to answer that
Can you share some of the energy with us? Can you put it in a little jar and share it with us?
I just wake up and I'm I'm filming a movie today, I'm really excited. So I just don't get tired, you know? And I love doing my lines and getting into the character. And I love being dramatic, so it's
Because everybody will know you as dancer, right? Dancer Skylar. But going into that film world, there's acting as well. So
Yeah.
do you do some acting kind of stuff to kind of practice and techniques?
Yeah, so I have got this amazing acting teacher that helps me with my American accents and everything. But because I'm an actress as well, I also put that into my dancing.
Yes.
Because sometimes people do forget that they could be the most beautiful dancer, but sometimes they do forget about their face. And
Performance.
in auditions, no matter how good you are,
Yes.
you need to have faith.
You're dropping some gems there,
Gems,
My God,
gems.
absolutely, yeah. And your performance in your face is just, it's wonderful. You always bring a performance. What about attitude in the industry? Do you think that it's important to have a really good attitude?
Yes, it is quite important, but you don't want to be too cocky. You want to know where you stand, and you need to not think, you need to still believe in yourself and have that confidence, but I don't think you should be I can do that, and then you turn up to the audition and you say you can do it, then you can't do it, because then that's when you don't really get jobs.
Yes.
So I think it's just good to have proper mindset and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got to be confident
Yeah.
and honest as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But you do a bit of modelling, so how does that differ between modelling and then performing on a stage or a camera? What's the...
So you get very photogenic, because sometimes when let's say you're doing a competition, and you know how people film you, and then you get the video, or they're like taking photos of you. You need to like be in a position and not make it ugly. Like you need to always lengthen.
Oh God, she's making us fix up.
You need to lengthen out your things all the time.
Right. I need to fix up.
And it's
Me and Sancha are like,
yeah.
all right, okay.
And
So you need to be really present all the time.
And
That's
like,
important. Your body, you've got to know your lines. So that's really important.
So modeling's really helped me with being like photogenic in
Acting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it says that I mean, you're a little star already, Skylar, and I know you're going to be even a bigger star. But is there any things that have happened, you know, that's not been very nice in the industry that you've experienced?
Okay, so I've said this before, I'll say it again. Not everyone likes me, but I still need to push through, because the people that matter will come for me.
Give me 5. Give me 5. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
She was raised right.
Yeah.
Good at it.
Yeah. That's so important.
Because the haters are everywhere, Skylar, and it's just the nature of the game. Creative industry, there's lots of people that want the same prize, and not everybody can be number one.
Yeah.
And I think it's just about how you turn up and how you lose. Because if you lose, but you lose with a smile on your face, people are going to want you back, aren't they? And I think that's the attitude that you ooze.
Absolutely. And is there anything, like, have you had a moment when you've done either a show or been on set that's been like a funniest moment that you've had? Has anything gone wrong for you?
Bloopers.
Yeah. Or something that was funny that happened? Or have you met somebody that's like really funny to work with?
I have no idea.
You've done too much, haven't you? You've done too much.
I think it was in Croatia, right? And I don't know, to be honest.
No, you can't think
ask
of
a
it.
question?
Go on, you can't think.
I don't know if you're allowed to answer it, but have you ever worked with people that you don't like? Has that been... And if so, you don't have to say their names. How did you overcome that?
Just like, you know, like I said earlier, like the haters, like, and the people that are hating on you, they're looking on your page. It's just making you more you like, and it's just, I don't know why anyone would want to hate on a little girl.
Yeah.
But if they do, like, you just got to keep on going, because if you focus on what they're saying or what they're saying about you, you're never really going to get anywhere. You just got to focus on yourself and then like just keep on trying.
And just keep positive. And there are a lot of people that do love you and want to support you and want to see you win, including us. We want to see you shine and win all the time. What's next for you? What's happening for you at the moment? Are you doing anything at the moment that
So
you can
I've been
talk
doing
about?
lots of self-tapes, and I've been getting lots of recalls.
Yeah.
But it's been quite quiet recently. So, but, you know, the right thing will come for me. If it's not right for me, it will go past. But the right thing, my mum likes to say this to me, the right thing won't pass me. So.
Mum has got
Honestly.
She's got the wisdom, because if it's meant for you,
It will be.
pass you by.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Quick little question. You wear character heels sometimes?
Yes,
So heels or trainers? What do you prefer?
heels.
We knew she was going to say. Studio rehearsal or freestyle?
Oh,
Ooh.
No.
Ooh. She's like, I've got to answer
this
this
is
smartly.
so
That's hard,
hard.
isn't it? Or both?
You can say both.
Both.
You both like
Yeah,
both. TikTok challenge or a full stage routine?
Full stage routine.
Ice cream or chips? She's
Can I
like,
choose none?
none. She's like, none.
Should we say both or no?
She's like,
I
none.
prefer a cup of tea.
Oh, I love that she prefers a cup of tea.
Come to my house anytime.
You're like a little, you're an old soul, Skylar. I feel like you've been here before. You're an old school, so mature.
I've got a couple of questions. Favourite colour?
Pink.
Birthday?
August the 13th.
Star sign?
Leo.
Girls or boys?
In what way?
Who's the best? Who's the best?
go.
I thought you
Yeah.
said both. And favourite word beginning with F?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
That
Because-
big round of applause.
Because Skylar is a fabulous.
It is absolutely fabulous.
What I will say is Skylar is one to watch and keep supporting her. She is a dream. You are a dream. I wish you every success. You have the right attitude. You have the right mindset. And I just hope that, you know, the industry receives that well and just keeps on giving you more and more opportunity, because you are a shining light and you deserve so much success. And we're so grateful to have her here today talking about her little journey. And it's only been 10 years and already you've done so much. So it's amazing. Is there anything else that you want to share with us or you want to share with anybody out there?
Thank you to all my teachers, especially my mum, because without them I wouldn't be here right now. So thank you.
She is beautiful, isn't she? Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Skylar.
You've been a breath of fresh air. I think Auntie Liyanne wants you to maybe show her a couple of moves.
Ah, moves.
Before she goes.
Yeah. Show us a couple. Whether I can do it now, that was in my old days. What we doing? What we doing?
What can you do?
Oh, I don't know. Test me. What we doing? What we doing?
I've really done my part today, so I'm really
Just follow me. Right, ready?
No, not really.
Well, I'm gonna.
I will be, but I'm going to take your confidence. I'm going to just.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1.
Oh gosh.
4, 5, 6, 5, 6. Faster.
Oh, we're doing it. Oh! All right, girl. Woo! Oh, I still got a minute, Mum. Oh. Woo! Skylar in the house! Yay! Yay! Woo! She's got me up. Thank you, Skylar! Call me back.
See how cool you really are.
Back my knees. That was a while since I've done that. Not really. But still got the knees and the hips. Thanks for that support and encouragement, guys.
Wasn't she fabulous?
Skylar, honestly, it's a pleasure having her here. And you know, she's the first child as well that we've had.
First child on the finale.
Yeah.
We need more for season 2.
Absolutely.
Any more that can follow in her footsteps and come and give both of us a run for our money. Please.
Full on routine next time, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm out of breath. Imagine, Skylar, how do you do that?
So we would love to thank you all for tuning in over these weeks, for all the sponsors. I'm going to go into that a little bit more, but we just have been so grateful to be able to host so many guests, have an excellent production team, like guests behind camera, in front of the camera. Like it's just been week on week of no respite.
Yeah.
But we've been proud to be able to deliver something so special and unique for our female community.
Absolutely, and you know, it's just been a pleasure for us to meet so many just courageous, empowering, you know, just supportive women as well. I feel it's really important that we do this more, we empower each other, we collab with each other, and we elevate and uplift each other. Absolutely. And I think this space that's been created here, through our technical hitches, through anything that's gone wrong, gone right, we've just remained consistent to give that safe space to you all. And we thank you so much for the supporting and the liking. And it's been a pleasure, hasn't it, for us to interview different guests week in, week out. The amazing DJ QG, who's been here giving us the wonderful music every month.
From the photographers to the music, Tree Soul, the artist that steps into the vault, the hologram host,
our sponsors,
Startup Croydon, Creative Digital Lab, Scene Group, Fenty Beauty.
I'm in business. Cushions.
Yeah, Hooks and Looms.
Hooks and
business.
Yeah.
Like it's just been an absolute pleasure to be able to bring something so unique and from the heart to you guys, the community. And we can't wait for season 2. It's going to be bigger, bolder, brighter. So yeah.
And do get in contact with us as well. You know, we want to really make this community and this network bigger. So if you want to get in contact with us here at F the News and Femme Fatale TV, we are open. We are, you know, welcoming anybody to get involved any more brand sponsors, people that want to be on the show. We want to continue to keep this kind of movement and community going. So,
and we can only do it with their help.
Absolutely,
so thank you again. I've been Sancha Currie.
And I've been Liyanne Marie. But before we go, we are going to hand you over
to the hologram host.
To hologram host, Michelle.
And this week, stepping into the vault is Lily King performing her track Drum.
Rule number one, I've been a boss ass bitch. Never let these little niggas come and play you. Rule number two, if the wifey call you, link up and laugh in her face, boo-hoo. Number one, I've been a boss ass bitch. Never let these little niggas come and play you. Rule number two, if the wifey call you, link up and laugh in her face, boo-hoo. Rule number three, said this a basic one. Friends go, but the money still gon' come. Rule number four, you go back to rule one. Repeat your steps till you beat it up like a drum. I beat it up like a drum, rock. I can never talk too much, rock. Said I only do this for fun, rock. So I beat it up like a drum, beat it up like a drum. I beat it up like a drum, rock. I can never talk too much, rock. Said I only do this for fun, rock. So I beat it up like a drum, beat it up like a drum. Rule number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rico, baby, keep your body real fine. When you step up in the spot, it's a murder, easy. Now every man won't come up and squeeze it. Rule number 10 covers up number 11. If the energy's dead, then you gotta keep it stepping like a pillar and door. Now make a nigga get sweaty. Easy being bad, being boss is a set. I beat it up like a drum, rock. I can never talk too much, rock. Said I only do this for fun, rock. Said I beat it up like a drum, beat it up like a drum. I beat it up like a drum, rock. I can never talk too much, rock. Said I only do this for fun, rock. So I beat it up like a drum, beat it up like a drum. I go stupid, I go crazy. Go stupid, go crazy. I go stupid, I go crazy. Go stupid, go crazy. So fuck it up, beat it like a drum, and you wanna get it up. So fuck it up, beat it like a drum, and now you wanna get it up. Go ask your fucking friends about me. B.I.G.